Okay, thanks for taking a look at eNATAL LT. And this demonstration will show you the features, although I don't think they're that hard to figure out. But anyway, you'll find the eNATAL LT application once you install it, and you can go ahead and click on it. But before you do it the first time, I want you to make sure that you go to the settings application on your iPhone in order to set up your username, because what you need to only put in as when you sign on is your password, as you'll see in a second. But we're going to come to that later. So I'm going to go ahead and click on eNATAL LT, and it brings up the sign-on page, and it says enter your password. So I'm going to enter the password. Again, there's no place for the username. We're going to sign on, and we come to a front desk of sorts, and we have several options here. One is to do a search. The other is to do an alphabetical listing. Another is to do a listing by EDD, and the info is a kind of a help page and has links for support. Basically the same links you use now. So if we look at, and we started up in the search page, so we'll just go ahead and show you how that works, and I'll just type in, you have to type in at least 3 letters, and we've got 4 patients that have AND in their name, with either first name or last name. So let's go to the alphabetical list and see what that looks like. Alphabetical list with the index on the right, very much similar to the contacts application on the iPhone. We'll go to the EDD list. Again, you see the patient's name, the gravity, parity, and her EDD, and we can go look at, say, July of '09 and look at the patients that are due during that month, and of course scroll through that. So if we go back to the search page, we'll again search for Marlo Andrews. We'll click on her name. You'll notice where it says still pregnant. This may mean that you have some patients that are well past their due date, and there will be a reminder whether they're still pregnant. But we'll go ahead and click on her name. And now we're in her chart. Her name is at top, and we have a list of options in her chart that you can scroll through. Most of the important sections that are in eNATAL are represented here as well. The ones that are navy in color means there's information to look at, signified by the detail arrow. But notice, like things like allergies, there are no allergies recorded for her. Now, this is a rather arbitrary order that we thought the clinical summary ought to be first, test second, ultrasounds, and so on. But you notice there's an order button up here, which you can click, and now you've got grabbers here on the side, and actually you can change the order of the sections that are presented to you, and you can then save those by clicking done, and rearrange those any way you would like. I'm going to bring the clinical summary back up first and bring the risks down here. But you can change that any way you want, because there's a lot of sections and you probably have your favorite. So to look at each individual section is as simple as clicking. And the clinical summary basically is a very high-level summary of the patient, her date of birth, EDD, risks, problem, allergies, and medications. And that's about it. So we'll go back to the chart page, look at the tests, and there the tests are alphabetically. There is no option at the present time to do this by date. Comments, values are here, and you can scroll through until you find the test that you want to look at. Same thing with ultrasounds. We have left more room here to put in more information if you would have put in your patients. Now, conception outcomes is another special case, but you notice here's kind of a summary of the conception outcomes, but there's more detail areas, so that means arrows, so that means you can click on it and see even more detail about that particular outcome. I forgot to mention that you do notice that there's a somewhat I'd call a banner on every page that lists the gravity parity and her current gestational age. And in our demo system, she's like 43 weeks, 4 days, and that's why it had shown questioned whether she was still pregnant. Risks are risks that show the risks with the evidence underneath and where they came from. Problems are really the same. We'll show that. The medications. Now, I think this is actually good. This kind of came up. There are times, no matter where you are or how good your connection is, and this is on a wireless connection, that sometimes there is a problem with the connection to the internet. And you will see this kind of error like this, and most of the time, simply just tapping again, it will bring up the information. But just like with the regular desktop application, if you have, say, signed on and then did not turn off the application, but it just went to sleep, and you come back over 30 minutes later, your session will have expired like it does in the desktop eNATAL, and you'll need to sign on again. So I'm going to tap OK, and I'll try to bring up problems again. I think I actually did that. Medications, there's the medications. Allergies, there are none. Important dates. Let me show you the flow sheet. Flow sheet is a very abbreviated flow sheet with only the weight, blood pressure, fundal height, and gestational age. And you may notice occasionally that the dates may have duplicate dates at some point. Like here is 113, 113. This is kind of an artifact that two people entered information on the same patient and may have overlapped the information that they put in. History looks like this, almost identical to the history in the regular eNATAL. Let me show you though the notes. And the notes, first of all, shows you a list view, and it signifies that you can dig in on an individual note by the arrow here on the right. So I'll go ahead and tap on there, and there's the entire note with all the notifications and review status and everything that you would normally see in the other desktop application. The demographics are simply a list, show all the demographics for the patient, and there are the birth preferences. So that's basically it as far as looking at an individual patient's chart. And we have all these sections that you can order any way you like, and you can browse through them and see most of the information that you would have in the eNATAL record, and you can rearrange the order. If we go back to the Patients tab again, let me just show you the info at this stage. It's got our support email address as well as a direct line to me, and some tips, again primarily having to do with connection issues. So that's really kind of an overview. So what I'm going to do is sign off, as I would encourage you to always do with eNATAL, either the desktop or the iPhone application. So I'm going to sign off, and I want to show you then, I'm going to quit the application and show you then the settings. So we'll go to the settings application on the iPhone, and then you need to scroll down. There's probably more than what is here to eNATAL LT, and then what you need to do is not change the eNATAL URL because that is preset for you to our secure website. This is a demo website, but you would need to go in and change your username so you don't have to enter that every time you want to sign on. And again, eNATAL is case username and password are case sensitive, and so you need to be sure that you have the proper case. And if you have to use numbers, you can always use the numbers on the keypad here below. So before you would ever start using eNATAL LT, you need to come to the Settings application and enter in your own personal username. And of course, you'll be asked for the password when you actually sign on right here. Thanks for taking a look at eNATAL LT.